quick. And because of that, I don't want just to, push him about the jobs, works. Let him be. Yeah, and he traveled to another city for his family stuff, I think.
Well, if you talk to him, let him know that we worry and that we care about him a lot. So he may be better.
You're so nice. Thank you.
From my side, same as you, just to check out what we did. And yeah, let's get straight to it after we all give our updates. I'll pass it to Rami.
Hi everyone. I'm in this session. I'm going to demo what I have done. We have two new brand features for the trace, and also I have some improvements in the Giveth IO that I will show you. Currently, I don't have any distractions. I will pass to Griff.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm just excited to see what this call is like without Mohammed and Amin. And just like that'll be fun. And my intentions are just to hang out and be around. I'll be distracted by doing other work. I'm working on a Give job right now. So, but always love to see the latest. This is one of my favorite calls. So I'll pass it to Lauren.
Hey guys, my intentions are just to review the last sprint, sync up with everybody, and take notes and stream the call and hang out. No distractions. Pass it to Donna.
Hi guys, great. And my intentions for this combo is to see what's going on in Giveth.io and trace and the integration and yeah, that's it. I pass it on to Matthew.
Yeah, I have already got, I think Mia is missing.
Oh, Mia. Yeah, Mia. Sorry.
Good morning. My intention is just to sit in and listen. Pass it back to my Nick.
Thank you, everyone. Let's start with the demo, and after that, I have a look at what's the performance. First of all, I'd like to invite Mateo if you want to share something. Thank you.
Sure. Give me a second. I'll share my screen. Let's do it quick. This one is the most obvious one since today the Gitcoin grant is happening, so we are having this cool thing showing up on the homepage and the project page. It's linking to the Gitcoin grant account for Giveth, so that's cool. It's responsive and all of that. I will update the app today so it shows up. It's only on the staying right now. As we decided to focus on the resilience of the app and the listing on listing, I didn't want to leave the merge between Trace and IO, the first stage at least, incomplete. So I fixed the issues that were happening about what happens when an IO and a trace becomes traceable. They were two cards appearing. Monique recommended merging them into one. So that's happening right now. For example, I'm not sure which project was like that. I think, this one, I think. It will show up in the list as a traceable project. And when you go to there, you can see the same information as always that says it's traceable, etc. So it's getting a little slower. And when you actually go to donate, it sends you firstly to the donate route, but I put a redirection only when it's a traceable project. For example, this one that is both IO and traceable, you can donate, but for a project that is only traceable, it would redirect you directly. You wouldn't even get this site. So if you go, I think this one is only traceable. Let me see one. I think this one. I'm not sure. Let's try. So I think that's going to solve the problem until we can restart the. No, this one is also IO. When we can take again the donation side from IO. I'm sure there is a project here that is only traceable. Let me filter them because I really want to show you. I think this one. I think the plant trees is only traceable. It's not an IO. So when you go donate, it should say redirecting or something like that, and then it would take you to the trace site. Yeah, redirecting to get trace, so you wouldn't get that information, and then it would send you straight to trace. Maybe we can put some cute animation or something like that, so it's not that boring. That can be done later. So yeah, the integration so far is going to be like that. In the future, and that's when I stop it, is going to happen right here. Instead of just doing the regular donation, we would be calling the contract on trace, and that would close the flow. But then we thought that it could open a can of worms, and yeah, we left it there. The other thing that I did, the most interesting part, is that the listing on listing part, how do you say it? Feature is working right now and staying. I will also update it soon. And is at least for the comms team or whoever wants to start checking on the listing and listing projects, they would have to come to the GraphQL interface while we do the dashboard. We have an array of slugs. You put here all of the slugs that you want to list or unlist. You set here if it's false or if it's true. If it's false, it's going to be unlisted. If it's true, it's going to be listed. And you have an access token, so not everyone can do it. This is simple for staying, but for production, I'm going to use a password or something more strong that is not that easy as these little strings. So for example, my perfect project one is unlisted right now. It is showing only this so far because I haven't done how do you say it, design for it. If you go to donate, it will also show you that this project is unlisted. We should put here a link or something related to why it's unlisted, because we are not blocking the users to give donations to these projects. We only are letting them know that it's not currently revised by our team. So
I think that's a better way to phrase it.
Here.
I think that's a better way to phrase it. This is, it's like the end user doesn't care if it's listed or unlisted. They care just about that. Like, oh, Giveth team is not proud of this one, or something.
Yeah. Or at least we have to show it to the admin, maybe. The admin has to know why. So I think that could be important. Not for the donors, but for the owners. And yeah, I think that's the main part before the dashboard. I think Ashley, Lauren, and Mitch are going to help us do the listing on listing, so we clear this part. And that's it. I feel I did some other stuff. Yeah.
Quick question on the slugs. What happens if someone changes the title? Does that change the slug? Is the slug does it work still if someone changes the title?
We fixed that issue a while ago. If you change the title, I think the slug remains the same.
Okay, cool.
Just to keep the same legacy slug for all the time.
And you add counting, I think, huh? For the slug if you edit.
You got rid of that, no?
I didn't get it, sorry.
Like for every update, it changes the slug to -1.
We fixed that.
Yeah. And one thing on that, Are we going to be able to hook that up to segment these mutations?
Yeah, they're ready to hook up. I don't feel like it's done, but we should. We
Because then
totally
we
should.
can, if we want to do emails or track it or anything, then it's ready to go.
Yeah, I hear you, Mitch. You know, I assigned it to the Muhammad. I think is not here. And if he, am I right, Metal? Is that one that Mitch said, or is just front and side?
The segment call is
That's in
basically
impact
backend.
graph.
That doesn't have. So this one is a new mutation, the update press listing. So basically we have to make a segment call for every slug that comes here if it's going to be false. That would be it.
And while we're on that, there was an old issue around canceling projects and how we can do that through mutations instead of just changing the database. And this would be kind of related as well, because then that means that users or people on the team with the right token could just cancel projects instead of needing a developer to do it.
Yeah. The idea is that all of these mutations become a dashboard or an admin dashboard that is accessible only for certain addresses if you sign in. We totally have to do it. It should be really easy. I started with this one because it has the priority for the listing or listing. But I agree. Canceling projects should also have this way. Also, this is not very secure. This is like the fastest solution. I want to remove this and put it like an authentication method using a signature coming from an address, the whitelisted addresses that we choose. But yeah, that's gonna take more effort, and as this had priority, this is what we have so far.
Cool.
How many projects are being cancelled lately? I don't believe that there are many, right? Or we should do this quite fast. What do you think?
I haven't been canceling any, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
And Mitch, we're working on, you know, the first MVP of dashboard, or and you can, you know, contribute on that issue if you want to have any other tables. No, at the first step, I just for the MVP of the dashboard, I have, you know, login, logout, and, you know, just listing all the project and making the listing listed and unlisted by row, or, you know, in bulk or in group. But if you want to have, you know, more status like canceled, or, for example, canceling, adding filter for canceling, searching, etc., you can have it. Meta, what do you think? Can we change that too?
I think that exists already in the status, the project status.
Mm-hmm.
There's one for canceled.
Yeah.
And is the, for example, admin is able to kind of cancel the project, or just the project owner can do it?
The owner is also able to do it. They can do it on the edition of the project. They can, but it's basically hiding it. Is I don't want to show this project. But what Mitch means is, just as it is right now with the listing, we would have like an array of many slugs, and we'd like to set it on cancelled or whatever other status that there is. But the main two is active and cancelled. Those are the most important.
If you can deliver it for, you know, a couple of weeks, I think there's no need to use that, you know, command on a database, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm checking the board because I always forget what I do. But many of important things were the addition of new tokens. I had to make myself contributor of a library that James made for accurate pricing on the tokens. I added the recent list that we got from everyone, having Node, UBI, and many other tokens in there. Let me see if I have something else.
In this view, you can see the estimation or the labels on the sprint. If you go to ZenHub, it could be better, and I can share my screen too.
Yeah, sure, but no, I just wanted to see if I remember anything else, but I think that's it. It's basically on the done column, so it's not that important. I just remember that last week I did.
Carlos, sorry, lots of works done by Carlos. If you want to mention.
Well, yeah, basically this mutation was under his work for a while, and it was done by yesterday or Monday. That's basically what he did. I think he now wants to take on the giving block integration. He's really excited to do that. I think did you see it? I added the issues on the board as an epic.
Yeah, just to
that's going to be his work for.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he added the estimates. I can ask him if he didn't. But at least the issues are there. I think they are 5 or so.
Yeah. And so what's about the research stuff we did on scoring? It's in progress still. Am I right?
Yeah. That was a hacking session I had with Lauren on Sunday, and we came up with some ideas. We are currently discussing it. As soon as we have a conclusion on that, we have to translate that into an issue for the impact graph to change how the scores are being added up. So
we may
I think
to the back office, we may show it to the back office if it's, and or I suggest. Sorry, I didn't. I put something in that forum, but didn't comment this. That it's good that we add a manual, for example, point from admin for each project. Maybe it works to have an overview of if the algorithm is not working well, we can edit it a short time by adding manual points. Just an idea.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah, I think that the admin dashboard should serve as a gold mode of the Giveth dApp. In that stuff, ideally, the quality score shouldn't be manipulated manually. But in the case that something wrong happens, the admin should have a say and can fix stuff without the intervention directly on the database. That's the centralized part of all of our decentralized application. So we have to choose what kind of power we want to give ourselves to everything. So for now, the listing and the canceling, maybe instant addition of the properties. Sometimes the users get stuck changing their background or title or something. The admin could also do that. But for now, I think that's fine. I like it.
Thank you. So let's take a look. Ramin, you please go, and I after that check the whole performance.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Would you please start with IO first?
Sure. Yes, first, there was a issue number 178 that asked us a question. There was a change in text. I tracked it in the codes and I found that it is fetched from a remote server, contentful. And I asked Kai. I didn't have access, and I asked Kai to change it. And I think Mitch here is said that it is changed, and this is resolved. The next one was an issue number 190 about link in the donation. View your donation. View your donations that links to / account. It wasn't working at all, and it wasn't a hyperlink. I mean, I also fixed it and also changed the color, like the in the a little upper view transaction details. For example, it's a link and it is yellow. I made it yellow, and I also.
Would you please show us right now? Is
Sorry.
it deployed or not?
Yes, it is. I sent the pull request, but it is not merged right now.
Okay. Got it.
Yes, I sent it. The other issue was about how to write a great project description, that it wasn't working. When you click on that, it was an error pop up, and I fixed that. I also, there was a problem when the user wants to create a project and he, for example, write something on the description page about the project description and click next. When he clicks next and in the next step and click back again, all the stuff that he had written, it was clear than nothing. And the third, yes, also about the responsiveness in the create project. We had some problems in the responsiveness. Let me show you. Yes, for example, here, as you see, we have on mobile view, we have a scroll bar here that it tells us that this is not responsive. Also, we have a lot of empty margin here. Also, you can the menu bar here. This is overlapping. The responsive view is also improved. The next issue. Yes, the next issue was about improving the header and footer responsiveness. For example, the header here. If I reduce the width of the screen, as you see, first we have home, and then first we lose home. We have the name or the address of the user, and then we hide the address, so we can have all the menus in one row. And when the user clicks on this icon, he can see his address here. Also, in the footer. Yes, in the website right now, as you see, we have 2 rows for the header that I think it wasn't appropriate for the header that in the 2 rows. Also, as you see, the donate button is on top of the menu bar. The menu bar should always be on top of everything. and this stuff also in top of the menu bar. Also, we have some problems in the footer. As you see, these links are overlapping, and some other tiny issues. For example, this no rights reserved. This is not center aligned. That in this pull request, I could make the responsive a little better.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, as you see, this is a little. Yes, these are the I/O issues that I worked on, and we have some. We have also some new features on the trace that I can show you. On the my delegation page, the user may have a lot of donations that he can delegate. So he should search in the. He could be able to search in the table if he should want to find it manually. It will be very difficult for him because a lot of donations are here. I designed a filter here. The user, there are three in the first one. There are three types of filters: giver, campaign, and community. The giver, if I apply filter, just the donations that the giver can delegate are shown. The giver is the donation.
Yeah.
Yes, the giver is the donations. For example, someone has donated to a trace, and the trace has been cancelled, and the money is back to the giver, and the giver can delegate it again. Or, for example, campaign. The user can filter just the donations that is made to campaigns, or it can also select just one campaign. For example, I select just one campaign, and these are the two donations that I can delegate. Also, the communities, I can select and apply filter I find it better. And also, when the user clicks on delegate, we had an issue that just the owner campaigns had been, or traces had been shown. But the user may want to delegate to every campaign or every trace. For example, this is a donation that has been made to a community, and the community in here, the user can search every community, every campaigns, or every traces to search. First, we suggest the user the campaigns that a specific community had delegated before. Maybe the user wants to delegate to those campaigns again, or maybe not. Maybe he wants to delegate to another campaign. He can search, for example, Ranger test campaign or every campaign. If he search, or also the user can search in all the traces.
As a community owner.
Yes, as a community owner, he can search in all the traces, or he can donate. He can delegate to campaign. If the donation has been made to a campaign, he can also he can just search. He can just search in the traces inside that campaign. For example, this campaign doesn't have any trace, and or maybe let me. Yes,
this feature is especially for Griffin. Maybe the campaign owners in trace that we have right now.
Yes, but this campaign have these two campaigns had same title, Ram Camp 1. Maybe we want to change that, and or we can write here the campaign owner, so it wouldn't be it wouldn't be like duplicate campaigns, because we can allow 2 campaigns with the same title. If the donation has been made to campaign, the user just can search in those traces in those campaigns. Yes.
I ran into a similar issue with the traces too. Sometimes you'll search there and they'll have the same trace twice, or like 2 different traces, but you don't know which one is which, even though they have the same name. Like we have 2 gas traces in the development campaign. Who knows? Who knows why? Probably because I made them both. I'm sorry about that. But they have different pictures, they have different descriptions, but at least in there they look the exact same.
So how we can distinct them between each other? Maybe the creation date?
That might work for some, but a lot of the times, sometimes it's because they click it, have bad internet, the page didn't change or something, and then they click it again, and then they end up with 2 traces. I would say a random number, or like a 1 and a 2, or we just somehow block the traces from the same name. I thought that was in the pipeline somewhere. Maybe it was an IO thing, but I actually thought that was something, an issue somewhere too, where we stop people from posting traces with the same name.
Okay. Check it. Thank you. So I think Ramin has no internet issues. Okay, thank you, man. You're not here, but thank you. Lots of improvements. I think even in IO, it just started, I think, 2 or 3 days. Roman, are you there?
I'm really sorry, I lost my internet connection for a moment. Sorry. I think Griff wanted to say something. I didn't.
The same name, and I don't know the best way to stop it. Probably just by stopping traces from being made with the same name. Yes. If a trace comes into the front end that already has a name taken, stop. Don't actually make a transaction pop up and report an error. Hey, there's already a trace called this. Like, maybe you already submitted it. Maybe, I don't know what you want to put in the error, but
yes, that's a good idea.
Thank you. Do you want to add something, Ramin?
Thank you. I will. No, this is done. I will pass it to Monique.
Thank you. Great job, man. I appreciate it. Let me check some. An overview of what we planned and what we achieved. If we take a look at Giveth support, it's still a thing in user testing, or which added just in time, but we didn't. Staging, but I don't have any idea how can I test it. If it's passed, appreciate if Matto, can you pass it? And these PRs is just made up with the Ramin. But if I filter all the issues for for last sprint, all of them are done here and closed. I just bring it back to donate to a traceable project, because according to our DoD, it's not done yet. And this ECR is still in progress. And this quality score formula and general security check, and this one we also planned for them, I think, for last planning, and they're still here. So if we take a look at burn down charts or last sprints, there are still, we did lots of jobs, but our performance according to what we planned is it's not satisfactory. But I think it's just related to the Carlos issues. And
But it also is checking on the close issues, no? Not the done ones. So
let me change the burn line to your right. And done. Wow, much better. 63. Much better than our last sprint. Thank you. And let's see what is remained here. And we can also assume everything in staging is done. It's not according to our U8 to the or DOD, but let's see what will happen. No, not as obvious change.
No, sorry to clean up that column. I am wondering, what do you think is the best way to actually close the issues? Because I don't feel like comfortable closing them if they are not properly tested, because closing means over for well.
Yeah. Yeah. Shall
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I assume that if we just test it on user testing and make sure it's working, we can put it in the done. The done, it's, means according to our DOD, tested on the staging or Giveth.io. Oh, sorry, next.Giveth.io. And if we deploy it, we have it on production, we name it closed. But, when we want to close an issue here, we have to assign the release first. So we have to reach a conclusion about what our release numbers are. And when we want to go to a release, we name all of the issues and we close them. And, it's now on production. And have a specific relation with our release. This is where I'm but I'm not sure about these issues because, it's not user testable. And I ask you to move it to done. But in this board, as you see, we can change the definition. If we think that if we want to count only works on the production, there is not based on our DOD, because in our DOD we define it just ready to deploy, not and our estimation was based on that. I think this, if we check this item, we can have a measure how we can think, how we could what we thought about finishing the issues and what we did right now. It's a good measure for improvements of ourselves. And because we're not in Scrum anymore in the Giveth.io, I stopped putting estimations and asking you about the estimations for this sprint. But please, if you want to go ahead, if you think that is done and you put it in the code review, it's better we have estimations. The sprint tank. I appreciate if you, Mato, and Rami can do it. Is it clear for you, Mato? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's take a look at these issues. I just want to remind one more time that Kanban is a method that we have to put all our forces or all our resources to finish what we have right now. For example, this in progress, would be the first priority when I take a look at this board. And after that, we just select one of these issues and try to finish it. And after we finish it, we go to another issue. It's not having lots of issues, parallel. Let's take a look at what we have done on trace.
Just out of curiosity, let's say that you work on an issue, but then you're blocked. And you DM someone and you ask them, "Hey, can you just? Should you move it out of in progress, or do you?"
Yeah, back to the backlog in Scrum. As soon as possible, the blocker should be resolved. And if it is existing, we have to do it in grooming or in the refinement, and we replace it with another new estimation. Or in Agile, if you think that but in Kanban, if you think that you can't continue with that issue, you have to move it back to backlog and not work on it anymore. This is what I think. Yeah. And let's take a look at trace and what we've planned for our last sprint. Just September to 6. There is still an issue in UAT test that it's my responsibility. Sorry, because it's very hot and noon, and I didn't have any time to test it. There are still something in code review blocked by Mohammed, because Mohammed in the sprint wouldn't help it to finish it. It may have some problems that Garrett here. And this bad issue, reduce our performance for a couple of sprints. That's the idea of was the first we convert Trace UR to Next.js, and after that we contribute directly to Next.js. And we have this issue, but we blocked by Cherik for just 2 sprints and can't deliver it. And it's a big number. Have a big number here, and we can deliver it. And also a refactoring breach, saying that said that I can do it, but it's not even in progress. So if we take a look at our event. If we take a look at what we've done, if we assume that the done is all the items on done and closed, we have a bad performance this sprint. We experienced it more than 19th, but for this Next.js 2 sprints in order, we failed our sprint. And it was due to bad resource planning, I think. It's my fault. This is what I know about the whole sprint. It's obvious that I really appreciate you, Metal. It's obvious that we finish lots of works in Giveth.io and finish it. And also I appreciate Rami. Very good start. And it's all I have for sprint reviewing.
Perfect.
Do you have anything to add?
Maybe about the Kanban method, the issues that we were having on Scrum about new issues. How would this work? Like, we can add new issues and just set the priority accordingly to our opinions, or what do you say about that? Just to be clear.
In a start, I just remove all the important things from new issues to product backlog, but didn't bring into the sprint backlog. just because I may don't have a vision for that, for bringing it, deciding on which issue has the high priority. But in backlog, we kind of sort it according to priority. If you remind in our last call for planning, we have lots of same issues. Most of them are related to that's logging and changing users, and need to log out on. So I think that it has a more priority because it's more reported. But feel free if you think that there is a thing that has more priority than all of the others. You may have more insight than me, and you can bring it. But the one thing that I want to ask, please do it in a team. It's very, very helpful because in Kanban, the resources are not fixed for a long-term plan. We just have to group on one thing and solve it. Even it's very helps for team making and knowledge sharing, and it's very good. So I ask you, please, if you have more contribution with, for example, Ram, and also if Mohammed join us. You can do a certain, delivering on a specific, for example, issue and feature all together. So no estimations. Feel free to do it as soon as possible. But in a group, it's not anything that okay, I work on another issue and Mohammed work on another issue. We want to have delivery as soon as possible for a specific issue. This is what I know about the Kanban.
Great. Clear for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Griff, Lauren, Donna, Danny, have you anything to add?
No, thank you so much. No, I didn't have any.
No, major improvements. I donated on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, no, it looks great. I was doing some delegations the other day and noticed a couple of these things, so I'm excited to see that you guys are on it.
Thank you. And we also have to. Sorry, Griff. We also have to change the campaign to project term. But I just want your feedback about how we can prioritize it, because I block all the stuff on Trace right now, and but because it has side effects on backend. And please let me know. Shall we do it, as soon as possible, or?
One thing on that is that I have campaign.eth. I don't know if it's useful, but it is because it's mainnet and it's whatever, but I don't know, it's a thing. That being said, is that something that we're trying to push out before Give launch, or is it okay if campaigns are campaigns and they're called projects later?
Lauren, can you please help? It's your requirement.
Comms was like, we should change it to projects on Giveth Trace, just because then there could be consistency across the DApp. But I guess things like we have campaign.eth is okay, maybe this needs advice process and the opinions of other people. I didn't really know that, and so I don't really know what's the right solution. But right now it's pretty confusing to people to understand the difference between campaigns on Trace and projects on IO, and where do they overlap, and what's a Trace, and what's a community, and how do I join? And it's just we're using the same words for a lot of different things, so we're trying to just simplify it. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's also whatever you guys think. What do you guys think?
I can say one of the things that I've noticed is a project on Giveth.io could be a community, a campaign, or a Trace, technically on Trace. So it could make it even more challenging if we call a campaign on Trace a project, because things on Giveth.io, they don't break down to any of those. They could be any one of them.
I wish we had this feedback before, because we implemented lots of things, and if we want to make, for example, a project traceable, we just map it to campaigns, and it's a little bit strange right now if we want to change it according to technical things, I think. But yes, you said the right thing.
I mean, really, because a project pays directly out. So in that sense, it corresponds more to a trace. I guess one of my questions is we started out so simple with Giveth.io and don't have like that really clear roadmap as to what a project does become. So all of these things have been questions that haven't really actually been decided yet. If Giveth.io was going to go to be more detailed and have other have traces or have other options in it, then that's something we'd have to think about. But it seems like a project in Giveth.io is a trace because the payment goes straight through.
Yeah, you're right. We may have a discussion about it. But imagine that we remove the UI of the trace for regular or non-management users for in the future, and so there is nobody can see any of the terms of trace, for example, of community, everything, even the management users.
Yeah, as I say it out loud, I can see how keeping it simple would be to say that a project on IO is a campaign on trace, and the difference is that projects on IO don't have traces.
I think there's a way that you can still call it a project, like a traceable project or something, and that'll identify it. At least getting rid of the word campaign is going to be better so people can understand what's going on.
I think that makes sense because it's just one too many terms.
Traceable project just has a couple extra steps.
Or if there's back-end costs to changing, how much work is it to change project to campaign? Is that...
we have not estimated it, but we have experience about changing milestone to trace. I think Mohammed,
and back to community.
Yeah, and back to community. Half of the sprint, I think Mohammed was changing things. And also front end. It's not a big deal, but if we want to use Mohammed, for example, for another project and in IO project and things, I think it's not very necessary right now. But the idea of the mesh is I think good. We can have the campaign concept instead of traceable project. We have list of projects and campaigns. Campaigns is a thing that came from trace. So make your project to a campaign. We can make that to finish.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting. I came late. I'm sorry. I didn't interrupt. I think I jumped in a big decision and at a good moment. You are talking about, I heard part of your discussion about, you want to talk, you are talking about terms, how to put titles on the project and campaigns. I support Monique idea, I guess. We can say that you want your project be traceable, so it will be a campaign. So do you want to become your project a campaign? Something like that. That term. That if you become a campaign, there is that benefits for you, and you will have transparent records of what has been done, what's going on your campaign, and we can still use it for a term of campaign. And about and I didn't get the point about renaming campaign. Do we need anything for changing the campaign to anything?
There was a requirement from comms team to change the title of a project, of a campaign to a project, and we're discussing this.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I manage it. Let's we can go to forum and polls, simple polls, everything. I can manage it, and we decided. Thank you, everybody. I think I'm totally happy because we have a good performance right now for this sprint, and also we take a good step toward one team, one dev. This is my main purpose these days, and I blocked Trace.io. I stopped Trace.io integration. I stopped new features for Trace. I stopped new designs. We just and other integrations, and just to be just resolving new issues, new small bugs in Trace.io. But this working Rami with Mato and also Mohammed Jonas, making a team is precious. I appreciate it. And Rami for 2 to 3 days have 5 PRs, and it's very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was amazing.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone.
I just want to say, since the hamburger left, Giveth unicorns. There's one horn, one dab, one Giveth.
One dab. Larry put it in your mission. One dab, one horn.
One horn.
I'd like to discuss about how to onboard the new backend developer. I want maybe get some feedback from Monique or maybe Matthew about how things are remained in the Giveth.io backend side, and how do you have any? I don't know if after the call do you have any have a few minutes to talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to ask, just say it clear that our review is finished, and we want to discuss about hiring of people. If anyone interested, can stay here. Thanks for your contribution. Have a good day.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
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 So I don't feel prepared to talk about specific issues for backend. I only have 2 in mind, but
That's
if we
good.
can discuss.
Yeah, can you share which issues do you have? Can you share it with us?
I think basically are the ones that we left on hold from Carlos. Monique, the ones talking about optimization and
No,
security checks.
Let me see it.
And I would even add one about pagination. That is something key missing that is important for the future also.
Yeah. There is,
Yeah.
I mean, you can easily say all of the issues, related to Carlos by filtering his name on the board. Give us 2 bars, send you a link. Maybe I put the link in the all developer.
Mato, are you okay if I schedule a session with you and the new backend developer to talk about? And you may, I'm off in it's my off day, and I like to if you can kindly help him to set up the application himself, on his local machine,
Sure.
and talk about the requirements, the things that should be installed. That would be good.
When do you think that would happen? This week or the other one?
I would create. I don't know how is your availability today.
Today I'm stuck with many meetings.
No problem. I can make a group and discuss within that about how you will be available for that. What?
Yeah. I mean, anytime.
What money?
Sorry?
I think you have a kind of stand up right after this meeting with Rami. Is it a good time for contributing to a new developer tour? Am I right, Rami? You said that you'd have.
Yeah, we were going to have a call, actually, Ramin and myself, after this one. But I'm not sure. Are you there, Ramin?
If Matteo, if right now is appropriate for you, we can start.
I think if it takes, for example, 30 minutes, you can join. Jawad is available right now.
I'm chatting with him.
Oh, cool. This is a backend developer?
Yeah.
Also, Mateo, if you knew of any other backend developers that have some familiarity with JavaScript and all this action in Colombia, that would be super cool. I also asked Vitor if he knew of any, and Heather is looking around as well. So just so that I just want to communicate that is also. But of course, if we already have such a base in the Middle East, adding one more is great. It's like just a bigger foundation. So, but I do hope that we find a developer who is in one of these spots where we have the other team already there. Barcelona would be an option, but
Java is basically is based in Germany. He's not in Iran. He's most of the time. These days he's in Iran for a few things. His father got COVID-19. He's here. He came here for supporting. Family,
I had
he will
working with
move back to.
Just to reference check. Once I was a CPO in Umid Financial Group. That's Jawad was the consultant of the CEO, and he has lots of very hard time on me, having lots of very clear things that commits my work, and as how the world is small, that Jawad found by to involve me. He's very senior right now. He's a consultant of big companies, big tech companies.
Jeez, Monique, you know everyone. You knew Donna too. Do you just have are you like a phone book? Do you just have everyone in there?
No, it's 20 years of working in these companies. It's right after high school, I was just working in the companies.
One is older than what he seems. Yeah.
I think Jawad was the one that caused I left that company. Yeah, because he really had very tough guidelines for me for the CEO about product management and what's going on the teams, and yeah, but I really appreciate him because he has a good insight. I think Jawad has joined our community right now. I got a notification in Discord.
Really?
Nice. Okay, I have to run, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe he will join. I asked him to drop in the call, but he's Mac. Maybe he should upload the video. You are mute, Monique.
I think the new joiners can't see the voice channels. The same issue with Reza, the security stuff.
Let's.
Yeah. They need. I think they need a permission for being a Givether or with the rule of human, they can't join voice channels.
Yeah, they have to verify first.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
We can go in Google Meet somewhere. I don't know. Who is Lauren? Can you add him? Add him? US? Do you have permission? Who is that?
On to Giveth next?
No, to join the call in the Discord of US.
Oh, to join the call. Ramin? Wait, who are you talking about? Sorry, Ramin's here.
It's a Javad. It's general channel. Please take a look at it.
You want me to just add him onto the calls?
Yeah. You want to be able to see the voice channel.
Oh, I don't have that power. Ashley has that power, or maybe Griff. But he should just really need to he has to type !verify, and then he'll get the CAPTCHA bot in his DMs, and he needs to do the CAPTCHA.
Oh, where should he write that?
I think he can do it in the general channel.
I mean, I think you can invite to a Google meeting right now. It's not a big deal.
Of course, yeah. If it takes more than 2 minutes before you jump in, just an exclamation mark and verify, yeah? Let's see what happens.
Can I excuse you guys? I gotta go with my boy to the park.
Really? Yeah.
Nice.
I hope you and Jawad has a meeting, but that's cool. Nice. Have a good day, Moni. I understand.
Sorry, I gotta go, but now I love to see him, but now they're waiting for me.
Have fun.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So, Ramin, how did you feel with the project? Was it hard or did it went good?
No, it was good. Right now, the issues was good, and I'm going to love Next.js.
Yeah, I know you will. Great.
And also, if you find some good to start issues, please assign me or mention me.
Yeah, we have we're going to do Kanban right now. We have this bucket of issues and bugs that Monique found. So if I don't assign you, feel free to pick any of those. There are many. There are 10 or 15 even. So just assign yourself, and if I see you assign yourself, I know that you will be working on them. So I won't touch it.
Maybe some issues are more important or priority. I don't know.
I'll take a look and I'll let you know. But again, feel free to check all of them.
Okay.
And if you feel like I can do this easily, go ahead. Don't worry. Don't worry about priorities and all of that.
Okay.
While we wait,
we should jump into some Google Meet.
We were going to have the call about Next.js. Do you think we can have that later if we're gonna have that call with Javad right now, or what's the main issue that you feel that we should be discussing also?
Okay, I will send you the link to the Google Meet. Maybe that's Javad will not join right now. Okay, I will send that to all of you. Would you please join there?
Sure.
Thank you. Did you guys all have the session before the call?
Pardon.